There's a lady, she was just sworn in as school board president in Pennsylvania, and she wanted to take the oath of office. Usually you swear the oath of office on a Bible. If you're not Christian and you're a public office holder, say you're Muslim, I guess you could swear it on the Quran. Let's say you're Jewish, I guess you could swear it on the Torah. But you swear it on a book, traditionally, that means a lot to you, that speaks to obligations that you have beyond the material world. Because what you're vowing is, I will uphold my office with integrity, I will not deceive, I will not cheat, I will not lie, so help me God. Because even if I won't be held to account in this life, I will be held to account in the life to come. That's why you do it. It's a book that you hold sacred. And the books that this lady holds sacred are pornography. This woman, Karen Smith, decided to swear the oath of office on a stack of banned books. This, of course, thanks to our friends at Libs of TikTok, she just digs up all the greatest stuff. The books are not even the usual banned books that people cite. I don't know, the Harper Lee novel. What's that called? I can't believe I forget. It's one of the most famous novels ever written. They sometimes say that's a banned book, or I don't know, Catcher in the Rye or something. No, it's not, but those aren't the books that are really banned. The books that are banned are usually weirdo porn that they're putting into elementary schools. Well, what are these books? Flamer by Henry Holt. All Boys Aren't Blue by something Johnson. There's a Toni Morrison novel in there, which the reason people shouldn't read Toni Morrison is she's not a very good writer, but not because it's pornographic exactly. Lillian Duncan, Donna Gephardt. So even here, Flamer, what we're talking about is porn, like in this case, like weird gay porn. I'm glad to see gender queer wasn't in there. I'm sure that someone's going to include that too. Look, this makes sense to me. It makes sense that the libs would consider the most sacred books in the world to be books that are poorly written and pornographic in some cases. That's what they hold sacred. Bad writing, weak art, and obscenity. That's what they hold sacred. They don't see it like that. What they see it like is that they are swearing the oath on freedom and openness. They have a mistaken conception of freedom and on openness. We want to read there should be no banned books. And the irony here, of course, is the book that one would traditionally swear the oath of office on is the one book that is actually banned in schools, and that's the Bible. And this school board lady seems fine with that because she kicked the Bible out of her oath of office. That's the irony. There's only one book that is actually banned in schools throughout the country, and that book is the Bible. The rest of the stuff, your mileage may vary by municipality, but largely the weirdo porn stuff and the bad writing and the nonsense is permitted. They want total openness. Now, this is attractive even to a lot of right-wingers. They say, that's right, we want freedom. And they view freedom as being just total openness to everything, which, as we've said many times on this show, that's not what freedom actually is. That's not what our founders thought freedom was. That's not what the great statesmen of our civilization have thought that freedom is. But I guess my question to them is, you want total openness. You hold as most sacred just the total openness to anything and everything without coming to any conclusions whatsoever. Why? Why? Why is that good? What's so good about presenting a 10-year-old with porn in the classroom? Well, what do you want to do? Ban books? In some cases, yes, but at least for certain people and so, in certain ages. But put that aside for a second. Why is it good? You sound like a book burner. Hold on. Quit it with the invective. Quit it with the insults. Just, can you give me an explanation of what good is achieved by giving pornography to a 10-year-old? Well, then they're really open. Right. To what end? For what? Our founding fathers talked about the blessings of liberty, and they had a way better conception of liberty than we do today. But when you talk about the blessings of liberty, you recognize that liberty is an instrument to an end, to a good. It's not a good in and of itself. It's a means to an end. So what is the good to be achieved there? they fall silent. They will look at you like you have three heads. Right now, go to genucel.com/KnowlesYT. I have got a Christmas gift idea that is sure to make you the hero of the season. We all know the holidays can be a bit hectic, the shopping, the cooking, the never-ending list of things to do, but fear not, because I've discovered a gift that is not just thoughtful, it's downright transformative. The gift of Genucel skincare. From now until Christmas, Genucel's most popular package has a special discount just for our listeners at genucel.com/KnowlesYT, letter Y, letter T. Treat yourself and your loved ones to the absolute best skincare in the world. Those troubling forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, and yes, even a sagging jawline will disappear right before your eyes with Genucel's most popular collection. Genucel promises immediate effects. You will see results in less than 12 hours, guaranteed, or your money back. Genucel made Christmas come early this year. They sent down a ton of products for the entire office. Everyone is raving about their under-eye bag cream and everything else. They work wonders. You deserve to look and feel your best this Christmas season. Head on over right now to genucel.com/KnowlesYT. Get this incredible holiday discount. You know, I love this company. I love the founder of the company, a Coptic Christian from Egypt, left for the American dream. It is the highest quality ingredients out there. Every order today upgraded to free express shipping. genucel.com/KnowlesYT today. Schools across America are encouraging minors, children, to go on to secret online LGBT chat rooms to discuss, quote, gender-affirming surgeries, occult practices, believe it or not, and other things with adults who identify as LGBT. Seems to me, if any adults access these platforms, they should get a knock on the door from Chris Hansen, followed by the police. But it's not just that. It's not just that creepy adults are talking about these things with kids, unsupervised by the kids' parents, without the knowledge of the kids' parents at all. It's that the schools are encouraging it. Massachusetts has administrators who are pushing youth who identify as LGBTQIA+, I guess that's the new one, that's the one they're sticking with, to QChat, which is a secret platform that connects chat-based discussion groups for LGBTQ+. They forgot the IA in that one, but they got to add the IA. I guess the platform's outdated. And questioning teens ages 13 to 19. Can you imagine? Can you imagine you're a parent and you find out that some pervert school administrator told your 13-year-old kid to go onto a secret chat room to talk with adults about weird sex stuff? Can you imagine how difficult it would be to restrain your worst impulses and to remember that vengeance belongs to the Lord and to allow the civil authority to take its course, which it won't do because the civil authority promotes this? Can you fathom that reaction? Very difficult to imagine restraint in that situation. These chat rooms invite participants to join conversations on everything from queer youth activism to sex and relationships to tarot cards. Isn't it kind of weird? Isn't it kind of weird how all this stuff just always seems to come back to weird satanic imagery? Isn't that, and like occult practices and demon stuff? It's just funny, huh? Funny how that works. All of this, of course, without parental permission. This website, which is a project of a bunch of LGBT LMNOP groups and Planned Parenthood. So you have the child sacrifice people in there too. They have even equipped the website with a quick escape. So if your parents walk by and see that your pervert school administrators have encouraged you to go talk about sex and tarot cards with weird adults whose identity you don't know, you can just very quickly X out of it. And you just quick escape button, you're out. So the parents won't find out. You don't want them to find out because then they might tell you not to do that. And the school really, the school wants to do the same thing that Pornhub's trying to do to you. Okay. Wisconsin, it's not just Massachusetts, Wisconsin had students guided to Trevor Space, which is a similar kind of thing, allows minors who identify as LGBT, they lost the Q and the IA and the plus, to anonymously chat with adults on the platform. This is a project of the Trevor Project, which is a radical LGBT organization. This has been exposed as a hotspot for graphic conversations about sexual fetishes, adults giving minors advice on how to discreetly obtain various sexual paraphernalia and hide it from their parents. Very, very disturbing. Adults detailing, I'm not even going to get into it. Adults detailing very, very disgusting, depraved things for the minors on the chat forum, on the platform. This is Weimar Germany kind of stuff. This is late Rome kind of stuff. The worst kind of depravity you've ever read about in a history book right now, at perhaps a much higher level going on. Obviously, I agree with that. You very likely agree with that. You normal people listening to the show. Now, I know that there are some left-wingers and even some radical left-wingers who listen to the show. So maybe there are a small number of you out there who disagree with me. And you say, no, Michael, you're totally misrepresenting this. And I'll tell you, from their perspective, this is what they're saying. From their perspective, they're saying, there are these kids who are gay, they have these sexual desires that are unusual. And they feel alone and they feel isolated. And an oppressive society with a false and cruel morality forces them to stay in the closet and deny their true selves. And these heroic adults are out there giving their time, giving their money in many cases, trying to save these poor, oppressed LGBT LMNOP children from their cruel, evil parents and this evil country founded on evil Christian morality. And they're going to liberate them and bring them into the truth and fullness of their identity. That's what they say. That's what they believe. That's the justification for this. And so, from their perspective, I think many of them have good intentions, which, by the way, pave the road to hell, those good intentions. But I bet they have good intentions. Some of them are perverts, but some of them are unknowingly perverts. and they probably do have good intentions. They really, really believe all of this. So who's right? What is it? Is this a bunch of weirdos grooming kids into something that will harm them? Or is this a bunch of wonderful, helpful people, enlightened, brilliant minds who are saving children from oppression and liberating them? You know my view, and I think I know your view. But it's an open question, and it's a question that the state will weigh in on, that the state must weigh in on. Because the school is going to do one thing or the other. The school is either going to encourage these chat sites, or the school is not going to encourage these chat sites. The school is going to teach something. It's either going to teach that a boy can be a girl, and therefore, if you're a boy, but you think you're a girl, then you need to be liberated and go on hormones and chop yourself up and be called by the opposite pronouns. Or it's not going to teach that. The school's going to say, no, actually, boys can't be girls. So you're just confused, and we're going to try to give you a more correct understanding of things. But it's going to teach something. The state has to weigh in, which means that the state has to have some kind of religious view. And even if you don't like the word religion, you're allergic to it, the state has to take some kind of view of human nature and who we are, how we know who we are, what we're here for. Those are all religious questions. We can pretend that they're not, if you'd prefer that. But either way, the state has to have an answer to it and has to enforce those standards. Who's going to do that? Traditionally, that would be us, we the people. That's the true American tradition. You will hear the radical squishes and the radical individualists and even the radical libertarians in some cases saying that we have no right to impose our views on others. That's un-American. Man, this is un-American. You seriously think Thomas Jefferson would have supported this? No. You really think George Washington would have supported this kind of filth and degeneracy? Of course not. So that means that the view that you are claiming is the deep American true sense of freedom is just wrong. It's just ahistorical. You've been fed a lie. You've bought a bill of goods, okay? And that means we need to correct our perception first before we can then have the brains and the spine and maybe some other body parts to correct that perception for the country and return to something resembling a reasonable American tradition. Man, what a great clip that was, huh? Now, hey, whoa. subscribe, ring that bell. We'll see you next time.